essential truths. This is what is known as reality. The truth is, reality exists on an infinite expanse of permutations. Come, explore another reality. The year is 2024. Mike Myers at home in Park Ridge, Illinois, thinking about Winona Ryder. He had just seen Beetlejuice at the Pickwick Theater in Park Ridge and was truly impressed with with it. He knows that his predestined and preordained lover is Winona Ryder, and he must find a way to meet her to fulfill his destiny. And suddenly an idea comes to him. If he could travel back in time to the year 1984, he can contact Winona Ryder on an esoteric level. He's walking around Park Ridge on a Sunday in June when he sees something quite extraordinary. There's a flickering and pulsating multicolored essence. Right before I'm on the sidewalk on Cedar Avenue. Should he walk into it? He decides to walk into it. When he does so, he finds himself on the same street, but in the year 1984. Now that he's in the year 1984, he has a plan to contact Winona Ryder on an esoteric level. If he's hired as a projectionist at the Pickwick Theater, he knows a way to contact her through film. He goes to the Pickwick Theater, is interviewed by a woman named Claire. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Claire. Hi, Claire. I'm Mike. I'm looking to be hired as the new projectionist. You're hired. I'm hired? That was easy. I know a good projectionist when I see one. Don't worry, Claire. I won't disappoint you. I'm sure you won't. Let me show you the projection booth. Claire brings Mike to the projection booth. Wow, this is cool. A projection booth is one of those neat places in life. It's a place where an individual can find solitude while at the same time presenting an audience with a movie. Yeah, it's just you, a roll of film that may or may not contain cinematic gold. A room where you can find solace and let your mind wander. And an eager audience waiting in anticipation for what they hope is going to be a cinematic experience that they will remember for the rest of their life. You see all that? All I see is a room desperately in need of modernization. When do I start? Right now. Great. Claire leaves the room. There's a box of film reels on the floor. Oh, hi, Nazaba. Hi, Nazaba. Thanks for the compliment. Okay. Um, one of the films is Casablanca. Mike puts the film on the reel and decides to play it on the screen. In exact tandem with the Mike's playing of the film at the Pickwick Theater, Winona Ryder is in her backyard in Petaluma, California, watching the film in her backyard with her family on a sheet that they set up as a screen. What she sees is Mike Meyer in the projection booth in the Pickwick Theater. What Mike sees on the screen of the Pickwick Theater is Winona Ryder in her backyard in Petaluma, California. This is a chance for Mike to fulfill his destiny. He must now find a way to enter the film. He shuts off the movie and leaves. He had a wonderful evening. Meanwhile, Winona Ryder and her family had been observing Mike in the projection booth. Instead of Casablanca. Did you watch that reel before, Michael? Yes, I did. I swear it was the film Casablanca. I watched it too. It was Casablanca. Why don't you try and put it out again? Sure, Michael puts the film again. And sure enough, the film that they are watching is Casablanca. Well, just as I thought, the movie you're watching is Casablanca. Maybe it is synchronicity. Synchronicity? Yes, synchronicity. A synchronous event is one that happens in the fulfillment of some future need. Future need? What future need? I don't know yet. Maybe this future need is something that can only be fulfilled by whoever that guy was in the projection booth. That's very insightful, Winona. You've been reading about synchronicity. I'm well aware of synchronicity and its applications in the real world. I'm glad to see that I'm glad to see that our raising you as a free-spirited, free-thinking, free-associating, and free-interacting person has resulted and development of you, of a young lady with the capacity to not only engage in rational scientific inquiry and discourse, but also the ability to see higher order realities that are beyond the rationalization that require acutely developed peripheral senses to see and know of. That's exactly it. Now, we just need to figure out who that guy is and where he is from. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Do you have any idea on how to figure out who that guy is? If he appears in the reel again, we could start with clues about the room he is in. We're going to have to examine it very closely. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Let's just enjoy the rest of the evening. Sure, they had a wonderful evening. Mike goes to the Pickwick Theater the following evening for a 7 p.m. showing of Casablanca, while at 5 p.m. Pacific time, Winona and her family are planning to watch Casablanca in their backyard. So 5 p.m. Pacific time arrives in tandem with 7 p.m. Central Time, and Casablanca starts again. It is not Casablanca that appears either at the Pickwick Theater or in their backyard, but images of each other. Mike sees Michael, Winona, and Cynthia, her parents, in their backyard on the screen of the Pickwick Theater, and they see him in the projection booth. Now is our chance to see if we can see anything in the projection booth that would provide any clue as to where he is. Do you see anything, Cynthia? No, do you? Wait a minute, I do. I see something. Do you see the green velvet? Do you see the green velvet blazer that Mike is wearing? Yes, I see it. What about it? That's my blazer. It is? How do you know? Because it's the only one of its kind in the world. Do you see any other purple satin blazers? Okay, wait. Do you see any other purple satin lapels on the blazer? I mean, do you see any purple satin lapels on the blazer? Yeah. That's the only green velvet blazer with purple satin lapels in the world. Why is he wearing it? Let me answer that question by explaining something. Many years ago, I was in Illinois, roaming around in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. I was wearing the blazer and decided to take it off and have it gift wrapped. I took it to a random house on the northwest side of Chicago and placed it on somebody's front porch. I thought that whoever got it would be gifted with something unique and special that they could cherish. That could be the guy who got it. That's a pretty good fucking clue. So maybe he's in the movie theater either on the northwest side of Chicago or the Chicago northwest suburbs. Do you want to take a road trip there to see if we can find him? Sure. They continue to talk about the situation. They had a wonderful evening. Michael, Winona, and Cynthia got in their car the next morning. A 1974 green Pinto. Let's take a road trip on Route 66. or Route 66 if you prefer, to see if they could find the person who claimed the blazer, or sport coat, as you may want to refer to it as. So, do you like to call it a sport coat or a blazer? I prefer blazer. Okay. That's really intriguing. That the guy in the projection booth was wearing the blazer that you left in a gift wrapped box on somebody's porch. I just had this undeniable urge to get somebody with that blazer, to gift somebody with that blazer. It was as if I felt as though my gifting the blazer to somebody random would not indeed be a random gifting of the blazer, but a gifting of the blazer that would result in a synchronicity of events, the fulfillment of which would be a serendipitous meeting. If the New Age and mystical concepts that you write about are in some ways plausible, maybe you're onto something. Yeah. The Green Pinto continued to cruise the iconic Route 66 or Route 66, while the Horowitz family continued to talk. As they were talking, something obviously quite unexpected happened. Morning turned to night in a split second. They found themselves hovering above a roadside diner in the Pinto. They looked down at the diner, and it seemed to be occupied by people who spoke in a strange language that none of them were familiar with. There was also some kind of transcendent music playing at an extremely loud volume inside of it. The car doors were thrown wide open as if by some kind of unseen force, as Winona, Michael, and Cynthia floated out of the car and didn't fall to the ground, but descended to it slowly as if by some unseen force. When they landed, they looked into the diner and saw some kind of weirdness, some of the weirdest looking beings in there, obviously from another planet. And heard some of the most otherworldly, postmodern, avant-garde, bizarre, innovative, transcendent, inventive, and intriguing music they had ever heard, that was composed of an arrangement of sounds that have never been heard on planet Earth and must have been cultivated from another planet. It was the most beautiful thing any of them had ever heard. What they saw when they looked inside was both hopeful and disturbing. Thanks for joining me. I hope you join me on my next live stream.